What do you mean? Like, got smaller?
It was like this before.
Really? Wow. Right, one thing I haven't figured out yet is what we're going to do about getting water and food in and out. Just trying to reduce weight as much as possible. So I was going to do like a solid door here that you could like open and put the water in and stuff, but I don't want to add any more wood than I have to. So I think we're going to try with this thing. Can't remember how this works. It's got a bunch of pieces with it, but yeah, it's basically, hopefully we can just have that like on the outside and poke it through. So that's water sorted. And I don't know, maybe I can just leave a little flap somehow here just to tuck some food in. I suppose if it's light enough, which hopefully it would be, we would be able to just lift it up and slide a bowl of food underneath as well. But I sort of feel like it's probably best to have some sort of a way in. No, I couldn't get it out either, Santi. I thought you might be able to do it with your little hands. Alright, I'm gonna drill. Ready? What are you up to? What? Alright, I need a pair of hands over here. Santi, I need a pair of hands. Can you hold this here? Can you hold this right here? Like that? Thank you. Like, I don't know why it feels wrong to use this plastic. Like, I guess like in nature they would just be like roosting in a tree and natural light would wake them up. So like it just feels that you would make it dark in their house. But really, like, what's the problem if natural light comes in? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's just so lightweight, like, just makes sense. So in case you hadn't guessed yet, we're building a chicken tractor. As usually seems to happen to us, one project ends up creating various other spin-off projects. And that was the case with this tilled area that I was creating in our last video for our new garden expansion. I tilled that area after some weeks of rain when the soil was nice and soft and easy to work, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do it. The problem with that is that it now has to wait until later in the spring for me to be ready to plant it. And in the meantime, I didn't want weeds and grasses coming back. I was planning to cover that area with some black plastic or some tarps, but a few of you commented on our last video that wouldn't it be great if we had a chicken tractor and we could run some chickens over there to keep the weeds and the grass down. So that is my plan. Since we hatched a new batch of chicks last year, we also have 2 new roosters, which is fine, but one of the roosters is being mean to the duck. So he seems alright with the other chickens, but we want to take him out of there and put him separately and give the ducks some peace as well.
I had absolutely no plan going into this project and was just hoping to find enough scrap material lying around to make it work. In my head, I was picturing just a very simple and light chicken wire run stretched over some flexible pipe. But of course, when I started thinking of the practicalities, I realized that unless we wanted to be moving chickens in and out of this thing every night and morning, we were going to need a roosting box as well. And unless we wanted to just keep roosters in here, which probably wasn't a great idea, we would need nesting boxes too. Quickly, a simple idea became more complicated, but step by step things were beginning to come together, and I was very happy to be working through some of the scrap wood accumulated by the side of the house.
Okay, it's still a little bit wet, but I'm going to just try and get this front door on, because as soon as the front door's on, then I can attach the chicken wire, and I would like to do that stage. This is when having a plan up front would probably have been helpful. Wait, still okay? Uh-oh, how are you going to get out of there? Oh, well, we haven't got the end on yet, so we can get through here. What do you think, Santi? Happy chickens? Are they going to be happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Wow. Nothing's coming through now. Here it comes. It's gonna come here. It's gonna come through here, hopefully. Yeah, but not enough. Oh!
What?
Whoa!
That is way bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
Wow.
That was the entire pipe.
No wonder the water wasn't going through.
That is absolutely. That is absolutely
That
insane.
is ridiculous.
That is absolutely insane.
Look at that, Santi. Look at that root ball. How did it even get in there? Like, how is it growing through like that concrete? What do you
That is
think?
absolutely ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I'm gonna leave that there to show everyone. So look at what we pulled out of our thingy. That's crazy. All right, let the water come through.
You turn the tap on for the donkeys.
We have alert that there's going to be like 130 kilometers per hour wind tomorrow, and we're pretty sure that this pergola won't last. Given that we have limited time, I think we would gain more value out of taking out the roof panels, which would take out the stress from the structure. The structure wouldn't really be affected that much by the wind because there's just nothing.
It would just pass through.
It would pass through. So I think that's our answer, isn't it?
It's your call. We've got like maybe 3 hours of work this afternoon, so it's your call. Are you doing some work too?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maybe like 2 or 3 panels that are really damaged.
I'm not saying throw them away.
No, I know. But you can see we haven't done a great job on securing them down either. Like there's loads of places where the wind's getting under, and yeah, go for it. I would rather save the ones that are still intact and then
also the wood structure is
reconsider.
more important than the roof panels.
Yeah. Whoa, you got loads down.
Pick up that.
The wind is intense. So far everything's okay, but the gusts are really scary. Mauro is just out there now, like trying to tie down the outer flap of the top of the yurt. We're just worried about wind getting in between the sides and the roof. They are attached together, and the inner flap is still safely on, but we're just, it's just scary. think we definitely made the right decision. Hello. I think we definitely made the right decision taking the pergola down. It took me a little bit of convincing. I was kind of against the idea for a little while, but I think yesterday when they raised the weather warning to like 140km/h winds, it just seemed like the right thing to do. And I'm glad that we were able to save the bamboo stuff in the roof panels that were still intact. Only a couple of them were broken. We can probably use them again somewhere else. And in the meantime, that's just one less thing to worry about today. After a nerve-wracking 18 hours spent glued to the windows watching the gale raging outside, the wind eased up and we were amazed to find only minor damage. A big old branch of this ornamental viburnum blew down, and the fruit cage also got a bit blown around, but it does look like it will all slot back together again once we get a chance. I had never experienced wind like this before, especially for such a sustained length of time. Apparently the highest gusts in our area reached up to 174 km/h, although this was probably in much more exposed areas than where we are. Once again though, we just felt very lucky to have got off so lightly. So here it is, the chicken tractor is in position. I still need to put the nest boxes on. I just put some wood to cover up the hole in the back because I wanted to get it out here. We've got the mean rooster and 2 hens in here and they seem to be getting on absolutely fine. I think the older hen in here kind of put the rooster in his place when they all went in together initially, and everything seems to be fine. This is the section where it was. I don't know if you can see the line where the edge was. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted them to get all these little chunks of grass out, but they haven't really done that, and they were starting, as you can see, to kind of compact the surface, so I've moved them onto this patch here where there's more grass. But yeah, I think stepping back from a distance you can see that it is clearer than that patch next to it, but I haven't done quite what I intended. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is just sorry, it's still a bit windy. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do now is just dig over that little patch where they were, just remove by hand any remaining bits of grass, and then I think I'm going to plant it. To be fair, the area that the chickens were on was the area that I didn't get to completely finish with the rototiller because we ran out of fuel, and I just wanted to leave it there. I didn't want to fill the tank again. I don't know if they would have done better on the more deeply tilled area, but yeah, on reflection, just based on the last couple of days, seeing how it has actually compacted the ground a bit, I actually think the chicken tractor might be the solution for the edges rather than the actual growing space itself. So that's not what I had in mind, but I actually think that could work out really well. Move them around the edge, keep the grass and stuff down on the edge, and obviously we've got the whole farm where we can move them to. But anyway, I'm super happy with this. It is great to use up these scrap materials. It cost absolutely nothing, and I think it's a great addition to our infrastructure, so I'm very happy with that. Alright, so I've just planted some cabbages in the middle and some peas along the edge, and when I move the chicken tractor I can plant along the other edge as well. Just can't really get to it at the moment. Obviously I should have planted before I put the cage thing up, but there you go. Here comes Mauro with the nest box. Woohoo! He's done it! Alright, how's it going? Does it fit? Did my measurements work out?
It fits. They work out in the sense that they're like less than what they should be, but they're not exactly what they should be.
After touching up any exposed bits of untreated wood with some wood protector, we screwed the nest boxes into place, and then the only thing left to do was to fashion a lid. So then, yeah, as for the terrace where I am now, it is really a shame to have lost the roof. I really loved that roof, and I loved how it looked from underneath with the shade material. But yeah, it was definitely the right thing. And also we kind of realised that as we were taking the panels down, that the whole structure of the roof was like a little bit just like bouncy, as though it wasn't really meant to support that much weight, which it wasn't, because it was just a pergola kit from a DIY store which didn't come with a roof. But we do have an idea about that. These two beams that you saw us, well, there's one beam that you saw us buy and cut in half, plus the post that Mauro was mounting in the middle, is part of a plan that we have to just reinforce the structure a little bit, make it a little bit stronger. Despite reinforcing it all, I don't think we're actually going to put a new roof of any sort of solid variety back on it, because we just can't think of any material that's not gonna give us the same worries in the wind in the future. So I think what we've kind of settled on is growing more plants up and over the structure, maybe putting some wires up, just like we've got the kiwis growing along the sides at the moment. It means it won't be an undercover dry space, which was convenient, but we weren't in desperate need of it. So yeah, it's a shame, but that's the reality of building stuff yourself and having extreme weather. So yeah, I probably should have thought harder about that the first time round, but we've learnt our lesson. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.